Ew, ew. Big fish-ish. Y'all know what it is, man. So I got a question for y'all. I got a question. What's the best team that you've ever played on? Like, what's the best, when you think back over the years, what's the best team that you ever played for? Like, what team comes to mind when, you're thinking back to, damn, what was the best team that I ever played on, where you just felt confident, you felt that you was, no matter who the competition was, the opposition was, no matter how big the challenge was, the obstacles that you had to overcome, you just felt super confident going into that situation, that competitive environment with your team. And as you're thinking about it, I'm sure you're thinking about, some teams, like a bunch of teams come to mind for me. Definitely, probably high school basketball senior year, that's different. That's different. That team, and then football senior year in college, different. The confidence at an all-time high every game. And it was the same thing with senior year in basketball. Just a whole bunch of dogs. Like it was just different to where, like, high school was a little bit different. High school was more so a bunch of dogs where it's like, we didn't even care about skill. It was like, we were going to mentally break you. Like, we were going to use the physicality to mentally break you. College was different. College was more, we going to do all that, but we better than y'all. Like, straight up, just felt like we're better than everybody. We ain't always win. But we had, I think we went 11-3, whatever. We lost to Villanova twice, Richmond once. But before every game, we knew that we were just better than everybody. But that's besides the point. If we're only thinking about, as I asked that question, the sports teams that we played on, that's a problem. Because the immediate thought that should have come to mind, and should come to mind for me, is our family. When I look at other cultures, different cultures, and how they're successful and why they're successful, it's because they view their team, their family, as the most important team they could ever play for. And to me, I don't think that that's natural for most people. However, I think that it should be. And it's a shame that it's not. I don't know what causes this. I don't know, what makes us more so look at ourselves as individuals, and more from a selfish standpoint of what's good for me. Not to bash anybody, but naturally, I think when it comes to our family, we more so look at it as, well, they doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. We don't look at it as, this is a team, and we have a mission or a purpose or a goal that we're all bought into. And I think that may be the element that's missing in a lot of our lives, to really shift our perspective into what has become our norm. It's normal for us to go off to college to where we can't wait to get out the house, right? We can't wait to get away from our parents. So that way we could do whatever it is that we want to do, which is a lot of times dumb shit, but it is what it is. I was there. I think most of us are there. I think it's more so our culture just throughout America. But in all actuality, like, we lose distance. We become distant with the most important team that we're on. Like, even when, and I know I've talked about this before, but when I look at my family and everybody's living in different places, different states, it's kind of weird when you think about it. It's almost like, if you were playing on a sports team, it's different when, let's say, everybody's from a different place, everybody's from a different town. Let's say growing up you play on a team where everybody's from a different town. It's different when you play for your town. That's what makes, to me, high school sports what it is, because a lot of times you played with these kids in your hometown from the time you were very young. You see them every week, every day in school. You know, you see them obviously in town. The people in town see you. It's a community. And it's just a more tight-knit group compared to, let's say, if I, played on like an AAU team where everybody's from all over. It's just different. There's a different level of pride that you take. And I think a lot of times that's what we're missing, a certain level of pride that we feel for our family as a team. And it's very hard to build that pride when everybody's in different areas, different states, doing their own thing, different mission, different goals, rather than seeing things as a family, as a team. And I understand that it is very hard to get a group of individuals to come together with the same common goal, common purpose. Very difficult. However, we see it happen all the time in different sports. Football may be the greatest example because you have people that come from so many different backgrounds, because so many different, it requires so many different type of positions, you know what I mean? Where, let's say the linemen normally may come from a totally different background than the DBs, or, you know what I mean? It requires a lot of different types of people to come together and move in harmony for a common goal. And I understand that may be difficult, as we see it when it comes to our family, but perhaps if we shift our perspective, perhaps if we're going to have to show a whole lot of grace when it comes to it, because we understand that, shoot, a lot of times we don't even like our family members. However, think about the teams that you played on. A lot of those people you didn't like, but for whatever reason, when you go through that journey throughout the season, working together, when you understand that this person is invested in doing their job, so therefore you establish a certain level of respect for the other team members, even if you don't naturally just, like them, so to say, but there's a certain level of respect there, because you understand that the value that they bring is going to help build the overall team, just like the value that you bring is going to help build the overall team. So this is just something that I was thinking about. It's something that's always on my mind. And I don't know if it's, just me. I'm sure I don't know. Maybe a lot of us, think about that. But it's very strange to me. It's very strange to me how a lot of times, and I don't know if this is the case, it's funny how coaches used to say that the name on the front of your jersey is more important than the name on the back, right? Because the name on the front, that's your team. The name on the back, that's your name. But nah, it's not. And I'll be totally honest, it's not. Now, in that moment, because you have a commitment to the team, I understand what the coaches are saying, and I understand that they are correct in that moment because you have a commitment to the team in that moment. But the name on the back of our jersey needs to be way more important than the name on the front of our jersey. And if we approach life like that, then I think more of us would be able to work together to become more and more successful, and to just get out of life more of what we're supposed to get out of life, to have those connections, those value connections, those worthy connections, to where you can rely on the people that are closest to you in order to work together for that common goal. So it's just something that I always think about, but just was sitting in the car, really just BSing on walking into the gym. So I was like, let me make a video. But it's just something I'm thinking about. So maybe we can kind of shift things a bit about that. But the sports teams should teach us the skills and attributes, the discipline, the commitment, the focus, all those things to apply into what really matters, our family team. So that's what I'm thinking. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Enjoy y'all Sunday. Get to the bag, whether it's the health bag, financial bag, get to that big bag with integrity, of course. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.